Who are you gonna call? Home Safety Hotline. Hello everyone, and welcome to Home Safety Hotline, a narrative horror game in which we play as basically an operator of tech support for paranormal hauntings, entities, and all manner of spooks. You guys have been suggesting this for a long time. I don't know anything about it, and I'm super curious because this is a really cool concept for basically a job sim horror game. So let's see how this goes. Also, me from the future here to let you know that if you enjoy this series but don't want to wait for more, you can subscribe to the Patreon to see the whole thing ad-free right now, among many, many other things. Undersoil check and human DNA. We're logged in as guest. Are we not an employee? April 24th, 1996. So not only is this a cool concept on its face, but it's also got sort of a retro analog horror thing to it. Well, it's not really analog, I suppose, if we're on a computer, but still. Television commercial, MV. Every year, thousands of families suffer injuries or even death from common household hazards. Hazards such as house fires, flooding, black mold, metamorphosis. Oh my god, look at that thing. Don't become a statistic. Call the Home Safety Hotline and keep your family safe. I can already tell that I'm really gonna vibe with this game's approach to horror. Because look, conventional wisdom would dictate that when there's a paranormal threat, an entity, that you should keep it as in the shadows, as unknown as possible. But you can flip that on its head. Look at something like SCP. Look at something like the Mandela Catalog especially. I mean, there's a whole other type of fear when it comes to something that is so known, so studied, that it appears alongside fires and flooding in a PSA. Where something like this is just a fact of reality. Isn't that scarier? When there's no question as to whether these things are real, and yet they still behave just as in any horror story. Alright, mailbox. Let's see what we're doing. HSH Corporate Welcome. Video files on desktop. Attention call team. Due to an error with our archival network, some of you may notice video files from our video archive appearing on your desktops. Please disregard these. They will be cleared up in due time. Trouble at home as well. Now, we are logged in as a guest, which kind of makes me wonder, are we actually an employee? Welcome from HSH Corporate. Welcome to the Home Safety Hotline family. We are pleased to have you aboard as our brand new Home Safety Hotline responder. Insert role. Your supervisor's name is Carol Regina. She will be calling you today to brief you on your duties, and will be reviewing your work daily to ensure maximum accuracy. As a reminder, responders with a 90% accuracy rate or more will qualify to receive our daily employee coupons. Work hard and be rewarded with incredible savings. I love this. This is why I love things like Voices of the Void. It's a job simulator where the paranormal just becomes part of the routine. NSE Discord. Okay, I imagine that's a meta thing. Home Safety Hotline. Monday. It slowly faded in and out, so I inserted gravitas. Welcome, employee. To begin shift, please clock in below. A whole lot of inaccessible database. Ooh. Look at that. It's anything we can think of. Even if we are having archival problems. This must be Carol.
Welcome to Home Safety Hotline, new employee. My name is Carol, and I'll be acting as your supervisor during your time here at HSH. Before you begin your first day here, let me tell you a bit about how things work here. You are an HSH responder. As such, it is your job to learn about various household hazards so you can answer the questions of our callers intelligently. When a client calls, answer the call and listen carefully to their concerns. When you've diagnosed their issue, submit the corresponding household hazard, and we'll forward them safety instructions to address their problem. Welcome to the HSH family. I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Okay, so we essentially have to act as like a 911 dispatcher to try and discern what's going on from somebody who may be panicked, who doesn't really know what they're dealing with, and basically work with incomplete information. And if we get it wrong, well, the wrong response is coming. That's cool, because it means that we'll be experiencing the horrors secondhand. Dude, we're like the people who watch horror movies and yell at the screen when a character is doing something stupid. It's like this game is like, okay, let's put it to the test. Do you actually know any better? Let's have a look at some of these. Bedbugs. Small insects known for feeding on the blood of humans and other mammals, and their tendency to inhabit sleeping areas of the home. Homeowners infested with bedbugs often report itchiness, and sometimes a delayed onset of rashes. They're not known to transmit any dangerous diseases. Excuse me, I'm just learning about every danger in the world.
John here. My wife insisted I call this number. It sounds like she thinks we might have some kind of infestation. My wife keeps telling me about specks of dirt or something in the kitchen. Just looks like coughing to me. I don't know. You tell me, I guess.
Okay, please hold.
Please hold.
Oh wow, we have an automated answer, huh? Alright, so to me that sounds like... I don't know, maybe roaches? Oh look, audio sample. We can listen to what they sound like ourselves, so we have some reference material to compare against. And we can see a transcript of your call up here. Specks of dirt. Is there a limited amount of time? Maybe there will be later on. Ah, but look at this. Homeowners with a cockroach infestation commonly report seeing droppings that appear similar to coffee grounds. Gophers? Oh, look at it. That's actually terrifying. Look at its beady little eyes, but it's still cute. Houseflies, spiders. I think it's either going to be mice or cockroaches. Small round droppings. Nah, it's got to be the roaches. It specifically compares them to coffee grounds. I really like stylistically how we're not just a paranormal hotline. How we're essentially a standardized agency that deals with any household problem. And it kind of reduces the danger in this world of these entities. Just throws them in right alongside everything else. I don't know, it paints a really bleak and scary world that we're getting through a screen. It's a really interesting way of telling the story. Okay, so it's definitely going to be the roaches. Sending info to client. Info successfully sent to client, good job. Do we get to find out what the outcome was?
Hi, I'm so sorry. My name is Grace, and it's probably nothing, but I thought I'd call just in case. Lately, I can't sleep at night because of this annoying little sound coming from my attic. It sounds kind of like... You know, it's probably nothing. I'm sure it could just be regular old house noises, but I just thought I'd call to ask and make sure.
Creaking from the attic. Okay, please hold. Well, at a glance, that sounds like maybe mice. The mole is new. We've unlocked moles, but they live below, not above. Mice are small, worthless rodents commonly found in the household. Homeowners with a mice infestation commonly report gnaw marks, small droppings, and sounds of squeaking. They can carry disease. Okay, that sounds about right. What about raccoons? They don't come with an audio sample. Termites. Ticks. All manner of things. We're gonna tell you that the problem is mice. Successfully sent. Good job. Once more, we don't get to know the outcome, though. We've got to be really careful with what we actually, we got to make sure that certain things don't have certain cross symptoms.
Hank here. Last week I called your guys about some crap in my yard. I was told wasn't anything to worry about. Well, guess what? There's more piles of crap in my yard. I'm talking huge piles of brown out there. You better not tell me it's nothing again, because I know I've seen something moving out there. Tell me what it is so I can take care of it once and for all.
Okay.
Please hold.
That could be a couple of things. Could potentially, actually, be a mole or a gopher. I mean, mounds of dirt. Gophers are small, brown, furry mammals, blah blah blah. They live in burrows. Doesn't say anything about piles of dirt. What about mole? Living in deep... Okay, their burrows tend to look like volcano-shaped mounds, and they are known to eat insects. Now, this is interesting. It says, warning, never kill a mole. Are they just, like, endangered or something? Or is there some penalty for this? Or is there some reason in-universe why that would be a bad idea? Meanwhile, though, I think it's a good idea to look at some other possibilities, like termites. You know, these are the types that live in the walls, not the types that build mounds. See, I'm thinking that later on there are certain very dangerous threats that are going to mimic more mundane things, possibly even deliberately. So we've got to familiarize ourselves with what some of these things actually do. Carpenter ants. They live in walls, so I'm gonna say it's gotta be a mole. But please don't deal with it yourself. Good job. See, I don't know if it always says good job, or if we just don't get to know how everything worked out. But I guess that's how it is for dispatchers, right? I mean, I've read so many stories from dispatchers who are like, yeah, and it really bothers me that I don't know how this call ended up going. Oh my god.
Twig Sigmund here. Just calling to inform you that your refrigerator's been running wild over here for the past 45 to 90 minutes. Been running wild. Better head on over and catch it, big fella.
Okay, that doesn't really work if you're the only one talking. You get to choose your own profile picture and everything. Okay, well, I guess we just sit here. I have to say, this is pretty atmospheric. Like, even just looking at the grunginess of the screen, I can just imagine the little office I'm sitting in. And just knowing these things are out here, God, imagine being alone and just thinking you hear a tap at the window, sitting next to a dark window looking out onto the night.
Hey, do you guys have a lawn mowing service or something? My good-for-nothing kid refuses to mow, and it's getting real crazy out there. Looking like a rainforest over here. My kid is complaining about being too sick to do anything about it. Meh, 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 meh. Stress of this stupid lawn's giving me a headache just thinking about it. Can you send some guys up to get this done?
Okay. So something to do with your lawn. Your kid is sick, who usually does the mowing.
Please hold.
Do you literally have a headache? Where would we even start then? Houseflies, house spiders. Ticks, termites, maybe ticks. Ticks are very small arachnids known to feed on human or animal blood, and are most commonly found in tall grass. They latch onto their hosts, often unseen, and burrow their head into the flesh of their victim. Hosts will often report symptoms of illness, such as fevers, headaches, and chills. I'd say that's a pretty good intuition, then. Although you can remove ticks once they've invaded your home with common pesticides, it's too late to prevent any diseases they may have transmitted. Instead, prevent them from entering your household in the first place by treating the surrounding area with pesticides and keeping a tidy, weed-free lawn. I'm going to start reading all of these, at least my guesses, because, really, I'm going to be glossing over so much if I don't, especially when we start getting into other threats. And these things are nasty. If you go back and look at the, what was it called? The Lookout videos in the Urbex playlist, Dan and I got absolutely swarmed in these things. I've never had so many of these on me at once. Them and all their little buddies. I'm lucky I didn't get anything. Okay, we're gonna tell you that it's ticks. There we go. Your shift has ended. You've reached the end of your scheduled work session for today. Accuracy 100%. All right, so we did a good job. This is really fun. I've heard people say that one of their biggest complaints about this game is that there's not like an endless mode where you can just play forever. I mean, I suppose it does involve like listening to calls, so you couldn't really randomly generate this, but still, it's like actually fun, and we haven't even gotten started yet. This is a true work simulator. Hello? Mike 3 at HSH Mail. Quit before it's too late. You don't know me, but I used to have your job. You are in danger. Quit today before it's too late. You don't know enough. It's not too late to quit freely. Trust me. Hey, look, we actually got a coupon for some bug spray. Look at that, we got $4 off bug spray. HSH bug spray helps you keep those bugs where they belong, outside. Just one spray keeps insects at bay. Using a state-of-the-art chemical makeup, insects are repelled by the pet-safe scent and will immediately seek the fresh air of the outdoors faster than you can shake a fly swatter at. To receive your discount, simply type the following code during your online checkout. Buzz off. Keep up the great work, employee. Honestly, after the call we just had, I would not mind receiving this. I mean, a discount's a discount, right? Tuesday. I'm just inserting gravitas because of the fade in, fade out. Welcome, employee. Welcome. I like this job. This is a lot of fun. And it's creepy in such a downplayed way. Of course, let's not forget we are still in the rising action here. It's gonna get a lot worse before it gets better.
Hello, it's Carol again, your supervisor. I'm calling to let you know that you have been granted access to additional household hazard information. Please be aware that this information is confidential and not to be shared with anyone outside of HSH. If you diagnose one of these hazards, we will be providing only information to the clients that is pertinent to addressing their concerns. Nothing more. Thank you.
So if we come across anything else that may help, we don't actually get to choose what they're told. So maybe this stuff isn't necessarily publicly known. Permissions have been updated, new things available. Carbon monoxide. Cellar growths. Cellar growths are large species of fungi that are known to grow in dark, damp environments such as cellars. Homeowners infested with cellar growths commonly report a slimy residue, the sound of dripping or stretching, or strange glows coming from their cellar.
Sorry, I'm calling to see if you might know about anything I can do to... Sorry. Anything you can do to prevent pollen from coming in the house? I think there's something seriously wrong with my ventilation or something, because I cannot stop sneezing. In the past, I haven't had problems so long as I've stayed inside, but I think something is getting in.
Okay, please hold.
Please hold.
Alright, so something airborne. Dude, this is so cool. We do our first day on the job, things are fairly normal. And then the next, we're being given access to all this privileged information, and even though we get a message, possibly from our predecessor, warning us that this isn't what it seems, I don't think I'd quit. Because now, not only are we helping these people with their problems, but we actually have access to all this information for us to read through freely, and... well, come on, man, that's like having access to the JFK files, the UFO documents. How can we not take advantage of this while we're here? Of course, we're probably playing chicken with some inevitable outcome. As cellar growths most commonly grow on ceilings, their weight can often cause duress to a home's foundation, and as such, their removal should be prioritized. The slimy residue they drip onto the floor can also be toxic to small mammals or human children. When in their infancy, cellar growths can easily be scraped off, and the affected area should be sanitized to prevent further growths. If a cellar growth starts glowing or pulsating, it is no longer safe to remove in this manner, and it is highly advised to utilize HSH's fungal removal services. Secondhand horror, that's how you do it. We're talking to people in the middle of an otherworldly horror story. But we just need to classify it based on existing databases. And from what we're seeing, it seems like this information actually isn't that public. It's known to a few. But the worst part is, we can't tell them everything we're seeing. False beat. Okay, not that. Hobbs. Wait, we've seen a couple of entries for that. Little guys, just little dudes that are seen someplace. Well, look, if there's a bunch of them, maybe we should learn what these are? Sorry, sir, just keep sneezing for a while. Common hobs are the most common species of hob found in the household. They are small, humanoid creatures with gray, burlap-like skin and small, vertical tufts of hair on their head. They're troll dolls. They have no false face. I'm sorry, what? They are known for their tendency to consume dust, dirt, and common sticky substances found on floor and dishes, cleaning them in the process. They generally only come out at night. Hobs are not dangerous to humans on their own. If provoked, however, they are capable of mischievous acts and metamorphosis. Solution: hobs cannot be compelled to leave on their own once nested in a home. Instead, one should take measures to prevent provoking metamorphosis by leaving out a bowl of cream or milk at night. So they're essentially a house spirit that needs to be appeased. We just learned that those live with us on Earth? Okay, but you can't stop sneezing. What might do that? What about bats? Bats are a general term for a variety of species of nocturnal flying animals, or mammals. Bats can be identified by their usually large ears, wings, and dark fur. Bats most commonly find their way inside the home during their hibernation period before winter. Homeowners with a bat infestation will commonly report sounds of scratching or flapping at night, and sightings of small dry pellet droppings. Okay, so the sneezing isn't caused by bat droppings. Black mold? Black mold is a common household fungus known to grow in moist, warm locations. It appears frequently as small black spots, musty smell, and may have allergic reactions or breathing problems. So it could cause sneezing, I suppose. Pipe growth, look at that. Pipe growths are a type of fungus that are known for making homes inside damp, tube-like structures such as pipes. Pipe growths often grow slightly larger than the pipes they inhabit, and will therefore clog the pipe indefinitely until their removal. Pipe growths are known to make loud, bubbling digestion noises after they eat a full meal. Pipe growths are known to attempt to eat anything that comes inside their domain. Most common accidents occur when a human child attempts to reach their hand inside their home. Do not attempt to reach your hand inside an active pipe growth home. They are otherwise harmless to humans. To remove a pipe growth from its home, it must be offered a replacement. Any common PVC pipe will suffice. One should garnish the inside of the replacement home with an assortment of meat juices and insects. Place the replacement home near one of the pipe's openings and leave it overnight. The following day, the pipe growth should be moved into its new home, where it can then be safely relocated away from the household. It's like a hermit crab. Stair slug. Stair slugs are large, dog-sized slugs that are commonly known to occupy stairwells and basements. Homeowners infested with stair slugs commonly report a slimy residue on steps or other household inclines. Stair slugs can be beneficial to a household, as they frequently feed on other pests such as mice and hobs, but the slimy residue they leave behind can lead to dangerous accidents and slippage if not properly cleaned after. Should you wish to remove a stair slug from the household, one can simply surround the affected stairway with a thick barrier of salt. Do not attempt to apply salt directly. After the slug has dehydrated itself, you can dispose of its body. There's a whole unwritten horror story in the warnings. But I love this. I love how not everything is just a monster that wants to eat and attack you. These are things with rules, same as anything else on Earth. And a lot of the dangers are actually more mundane. Frozen pipes? No. Bed teeth. Bed teeth are a rare kind of household fungus known for growing in small, cone-like shapes on the underside of bed sheets, blankets, or comforters. Look at that. Homeowners infested with bed teeth often report mild discomforts when sleeping, such as tickling or itching, and more rarely, slimy acidic residue on their skin. Bed teeth are not directly harmful to most humans, given their brief sleeping schedules. However, they tend to gradually grow sharper over time if left untreated, which can lead to infections in the open wounds they cause. To prevent the growth of bed teeth, bed sheets and blankets should be washed regularly and inspected for rare, more persistent growths. Infested covers should be scrubbed thoroughly, or disposed of entirely. So many of these things you just read the title and you think, okay, that sounds awful. And then you read the entry and you go, it is awful. And you really have to applaud HSH for their accurate descriptions. I'm leaning towards black mold, because the issues are coming from the vents. It is also known to cause allergic reactions or breathing problems. Alright, you've been on hold forever. I am gonna go with black mold, because nothing else quite looks right. But I'm not 100% about this answer. This is crazy. I'm spending as much time reading as I am helping.
Do you know if there's such a thing as house thieves that clean? Like, maybe to disguise the robbery? At night, I keep hearing all this noise coming from my living room, but when I go look at it, I find the place spotless, but haven't yet found anything missing. I've talked with the cops, but they keep telling me to call this number. So here I am. Is there something you can do?
So I guess we are a government organization.
Please hold.
That sounds a lot like our friends the Hobbs, doesn't it? They consume dust, dirt, and common sticky substances. They're licking your dishes clean. How do you feel about that? Now, what's the difference between Hobbs and a desk hob? Desk hobs are a subspecies of hob that are known to inhabit desks, vanities, and other similar structures. They regularly like to tidy their homes, and will frequently sort and order materials in the desk to their liking. They are physically similar to other hobs, but are generally much smaller and have raspy, loose hair. They do not bear a false face. Also, not dangerous to humans, but they can metamorphose. What does that mean? Actually, I imagine whatever those dark things we saw at the end of the commercial are what happens. They're like gremlins. They have a nice state and a really, really mean state. Fracture hob. Fracture hobs are a subspecies of hob that are known to cause cracks and fractures in the walls of the homes they inhabit. They are physically similar to other hobs in stature and size, with the exception of generally longer, wilder hair locks. They do bear a false face. Not dangerous on their own, but the fractures and cracks they cause can lead to foundational issues in the home, and they can metamorphose. Metamorphize? I don't know. Okay, I'm not sure if it's the desk hob or the regular hob. You're saying spotless. I'm gonna say it's you guys. I'd like to imagine that these audio recordings are hard won, huh? I like how they're not necessarily clear. It doesn't sound like you just put a microphone in front of something and it spoke into it. It sounds like some scared person in their room trying to record the sound down the hallway at night. I'm gonna say it's the common hob. Our potentially first supernatural... I was gonna say our first supernatural guess, but... I mean, is it really supernatural? If it exists, isn't it just natural phenomenon that we've given a name to? I mean, that's the thing. The word supernatural kind of doesn't make any sense. If it's here, it's just part of the world. Just because most people don't know about it doesn't mean it's not real. Hey there.
Buzz Goober here. Been having a heck of a time over here. I got these snappers itching and whooping and crying all over the place. Just all over the place. I got these whippersnappers yelping and whining, and I can't get a wink of sleep. She's trying to lay down over here. What you gonna do about all this? I've called about 5,500 times and y'all haven't done a thing about it.
Another prank call? Probably the same guy, but using a different profile. I wonder if he's something to worry about by himself.
I don't know what's going on inside my house. I heard something crawling in the walls. I think I found teeth marks on my bedposts. I can't sleep at night knowing there's something in my house. Help me, please!
Okay.
Please hold.
Teeth marks on your bedpost and things moving in the walls. I mean, honestly, that could be mice. Gnaw marks, small round droppings, sound of squeaking. Could also be hobs. Could always be hobs. That's the thing, some of these are pretty vague, and it does come down to guesses at times. Let's see what these false beats are. I mean, it's good to know about these things beforehand, right? So we can recognize them off the bat. False beets are creatures with a beet-like appearance that are known to trick gardeners into harvesting and eating them by disguising themselves among their vegetables. False beets are harmless unless eaten by a human, at which point they will take root in the human's stomach, feeding off its nutrients for its lifetime. This can cause digestive issues and potential back problems over the course of the human's life. False beets only find themselves in gardens that grow beets. If you do not wish to contend with false beets, it is advised to avoid growing beets. A swallowed false beet cannot be removed without killing its host. Okay, fracture hob. You don't report every symptom, but it definitely sounds like mice. They're in the walls, and they leave gnaw marks. If anything, what this is showing is that even the threats we deal with in real life can actually be made to sound like something paranormal. Which is kinda cool. I'm gonna say it's mice. It doesn't feel right, but it sounds right compared to everything else. I am not getting 100% on this one.
Yeah, hey, I'm calling about a noise I've been hearing in my house lately. Sounds like scratching or something. It's real quiet. It's definitely some kind of pest in my walls. I've sent out all kinds of traps, but I thought one worked for a while, but then I started hearing it again this week. I thankfully haven't seen any visible damage or droppings or whatever.
Okay.
Please hold.
It's not a lot of information to work with. You hear scratching. Could potentially be bats. Okay, we really have to pay attention to every detail because look, this is something that I hadn't even considered. I've been on this for like a few minutes now. And it says, homeowners infested with these pests sometimes report a faint rustling sound coming from their walls. And this says it's real quiet. He said he left out traps, thought it worked for a while, but then it came back. Well, these things wouldn't end up in, like, animal traps, right? And that sounds sort of like scratching. So that's, I mean, I guess that's the tech support thing. You kind of have to interpret somebody who isn't seeing the same information that you are, who has no idea where to start, into the information that you have. There's a translation there. I just don't know what you mean by you thought one worked for a while, but then it started again. But then again, there could be useless information there. There's also no droppings. I think it's carpenter ants, mainly because I'm trying to use like the text of the game, because like something in there is going to be your like main clue. And the fact that it's faint and this says quiet, there's going to be something that's supposed to make it click for you, so carpenter ants. I'm sorry, I'm trying to help all these people while learning that the world we live in has so much more than we thought.
Do you guys handle security? I need home security installed. Someone's breaking into my house and going through all my stuff at night. I know it's Bob from accounting. He's always been envious of me. I know what you're doing, Bob. Going through my papers, taunting me with your organization skills. I need your best home security equipment. Pronto!
Ah, something going through your desk, huh? Well, have I got the thing for you. I believe we already read this one out loud. Okay. The thing is, some of these things can't be removed, at least not normally. So, I wonder if they actually do just get briefed on how to keep them at bay. Anyway, that definitely sounds like a desk hob. And this is the value of reading ahead. That's why I actually like that these things aren't timed, because it really is just... It's like a more interactive way of reading SCP. It's done in a really fun way. And hey, look at that! We got accuracy 100%, so intuition is proving right. We're reading it correctly. There were some I was sure I was wrong in there. Dude, this game is so much fun. Like, this really appeals to me because it's got so much of that fear of the unknown that we get from these clients, and even from our own perspective. And at the same time, it appeals to the part of me that wants to catalog and understand. What is this? The real estate update. $84,000 for that? This really is 1996. $104. Is this an SCP that taunts us with images of things we can't have? Huh. Now what is with these database leaks? Community alert. A civil authority has issued a missing person alert for the following counties: Bush County, Maple County, Parkway County, Berry County.
This is a missing persons alert. Authorities are currently looking for missing child Robbie Harper, male, brown hair, approximately 4 feet tall, last seen wearing a yellow shirt, brown shorts, and white tennis shoes. Suspect is described to be approximately 6 feet tall, barefoot, wearing a large bush or shrub on their person. Last seen at approximately 10:25 a.m. Please report any unusual activity to your local authorities.
An overgrown mansion for sale for $12,000. House is a write-off, and they show us that right at the moment they tell us about the description of the suspect. I need to close this. I'm seeing faces in the noise. Why was that in our database? That's what I want to know. Maybe training material for us? How to recognize a certain entity? I shouldn't even call them entities. They really are just creatures that exist in this world, but why are we keeping that so secret? And I would guess that this former employee is probably the one leaking these things, right? They gave you access to more info, didn't they? I warned you. If you end up like me, join me in this hole. They haven't found me yet. It's safe here. Is that right behind the desk I'm sitting at right now? Subject line, notice of network errors. Attention, call team. Our network team is migrating our backend services over to a new hosting provider this week, so you may experience some occasional network errors over the next few days. Please be sure you're studying your information entries carefully while you still have access in case the network goes down while you're on the phone with a client. You will still be expected to provide accurate answers to our callers, regardless of the network status. We really need to study these things. Oh, and we get used horseshoe coupon. $3 off. Not quite sure what I would do with that. Okay. And you know, they're talking about all these network problems. I'm guessing that they are panicking behind the scenes trying to get this guy. I can't help but be reminded of the escape arc in the Outlast trials. Wednesday. Alright, let's take on the world. Anything new? Doesn't seem so.
Hello, Supervisor Carroll here again. We've updated your permissions. You should now have access to more extensive information to work with for your future calls. Please be sure to read these new entries carefully so you can continue providing our clients with accurate diagnoses. Please remember that this information is strictly confidential and not to be shared with anyone unless pertinent to a caller's needs. Thank you.
Sure thing. Wow, look at all we've got. There's toilet hobs. There's toilet hobs, of course there are. Alright, let's start reading. Bogart. It's the thing from the end of the commercial. So those are what hobs become? My... I was staring into its eyes and you startled me, caller.
There's something in the basement. I've seen it. It's huge, almost as big as my dog. It doesn't hiss or growl or anything, but I haven't gotten close enough to it to find out what it is, since it's always just lurking out of sight from the top of the stairs. I need someone to come get this thing out of my basement as soon as possible. I've locked the door since I can still hear the steps creaking under its weight down there.
Could be a stair slug.
Please hold.
And how cool is that we can listen to that and immediately identify a potential diagnosis? Alright, boggarts is the general term for a metamorphosed hob. They are large, hairy humanoids between 6 to 7 feet tall and bear fairly convincing false faces. They are known for causing household accidents such as flooding, fires, or electric outages. They also frequently observe their targets while they sleep. Boggarts are extremely dangerous to humans and pets due to their malicious nightly household activities, which can often cause injury or death. They also react very violently when seen by humans, but thankfully these instances are rare, as they excel at staying hidden. Do not under any circumstances refer to an active boggart by any name. Once you become aware of its presence, simply vacate the premises. Provided you do not speak of the boggart at any time, in any fashion, it will remain in its original location. It's a secret you need to take to the grave. That is horrifying. By simply describing its properties and nothing else, it actually paints a scarier picture almost than dealing with it ourselves, and to know that they come from something so benign, all due to a misstep that we probably didn't even know we were making. You said it lurks out of sight. False artifact. False artifacts are seemingly human-designed objects that can suddenly manifest inside a home. They are known for making gentle buzzing sounds that can usually only be heard by very young human children or small animals. Homeowners with false artifacts often report out-of-place objects, or missing children or pets. False artifacts, while not a direct threat to adult humans, can pose a significant risk to small human children and animals. Should a child or pet be left alone with a false artifact, they are at risk of being encased within. Once encased, no noise made by the prey can be heard. While digestion can take upwards of several years to complete, starvation can be a more pressing concern. Once a false artifact has been identified, removal is as simple as physically moving the object out of one's home. Our pest removal services should be called to come and remove the object. Should a pet or loved one already be encased within, one can utilize a memory wisp to speed up the grieving process. Just think, for years having no idea where your child has gone, all while sitting under that antique TV on the shelf. False rosebush. False rosebushes are large plant-like creatures that most commonly take on the appearance of a red rosebush. In place of roots, these creatures have 2 small humanoid feet that they use to chase down prey. Homeowners with false rosebushes sometimes report missing pets or children. Dangerous world out there for kids and animals. False rosebushes pose incredible danger to homeowners with children or pets, as their diet consists of small mammals, and they are known to be fast and efficient hunters. Homeowners without children or pets face a reduced risk, as they cannot swallow whole anything larger than themselves. To remove a false rosebush from a garden they have inhabited, it is advised to keep children or pets from venturing outside within its hunting range for an extended period. If a false rosebush goes more than a month without eating, it will move on to new territory on its own. Lamp sprites. Look at that. Lamp sprites are a common subspecies of sprite that can make their homes inside lamp fixtures. They are known for causing lamps they inhabit to flicker or burn hotter, sometimes causing a burning smell in the home. They're not dangerous unless provoked. Do not under any circumstances turn off the lamp or attempt to reach your hand inside the lamp when actively inhabited. They'll leave on their own once their lamp of choice goes out on its own. At this point, they will attempt to seek out a new lamp. To prevent a lamp sprite from rehoming itself, ensure all household lamps are turned off until the expiration period. When the lamp sprite fails to find an active lamp, it will leave the home on its own. Memory wisps. Note, due to clerical error, the audio sample provided above is incorrect. This issue will be corrected by the end of the month. Well, now we have to listen. Memory wisps are invisible and odorless household wisps that are known for removing memories from the home and its homeowners. Homeowners infested with memory wisps will often report missing pictures, photo albums, and the inability to remember the faces of loved ones. Memory wisps are not a danger to the physical health of humans. However, their ability to affect human memory can sometimes lead to household accidents or reckless activity. They'll move out on their own once they've stolen away the inhabitants' memories. There is no need for further action. And that's all there is to it. Is that a clerical error, or is that the item in action? Mirror nymph. Mirror nymphs are a subspecies of nymph that are known for stealing the likeness of homeowners and passerby. They are generally small, faceless, and voiceless humanoids, carrying a large mirror that they beckon others to look into. Homeowners afflicted by mirror nymphs commonly report not being able to recognize their own face. Mirror nymphs, although a nuisance, are not a direct danger to humans. They'll wander to different locations, provided nobody looks into their mirror. Affected homeowners can restore their likeness by catching the mirror nymph and breaking its mirror with an iron implement. There's a whole bunch towards the bottom, wow. Tea Sprite. Tea sprites are a subspecies of sprite that are known to feed off of tea and tea leaf residue. Homeowners infested with tea sprites commonly report leaf-like droppings and sounds of fluttering near kitchens. They're not directly dangerous to humans, but are known to spread various deadly diseases, including the fatal Fey flu, and should be removed as soon as possible. Tea sprites can be removed with household pesticides and traps, provided they're baited with tea leaves. To avoid infestations, always clean teacups, kettles, and mugs after use. The Toilet Hob. Classic. Oh, it's a ghoulie. Toilet hobs are a subspecies of hob that are known for homing inside toilets. They bear false faces, and have two separate clumps of wispy hair on each side of their heads. Like most hobs, they tend to clean their homes when they are active at night, keeping the toilets they inhabit nearly spotless. Toilet hobs are not dangerous on their own, but their physical presence within the toilet they inhabit may result in plumbing problems over time, such as leaks or clogs. Like any other hob, they can metamorphose. Toilet hobs cannot be removed once they nest. To prevent further danger, measures to prevent metamorphosis should be taken, blah blah blah. It is advised to leave an egg near the toilet each night before going to bed. Unicorn fungi. They're a rare, horn-shaped fungus that are known to grow on the heads of furry mammals and household pets. They often affect the animal's disposition, causing them to be drawn to the soil. Homeowners often report their pets furiously digging around or inside their home. Unicorn fungi are not directly harmful to humans, but can often lead to other household problems such as broken floorboards, uprooted plants, or waking up other things beneath the soil. Wow. Unicorn fungi will go away after a few months without treatment, but can also be treated with cryotherapy, or removed surgically if removal needs expediting. To prevent them from developing, regularly bathe your pet, especially after any outdoor activities. Magic made mundane. Whistling fungi. Whistling fungi are small, mushroom-like growths with many small holes in their caps that frequently grow through drywall gaps and cracks. Homeowners infested with whistling fungi often report a dissonant whistling sound coming from their walls. Warning: if you ever hear whistling fungi singing in harmony, evacuate your home immediately. Whistling fungi are rarely dangerous to humans, but their growth can cause foundational problems. Those two sentences are at odds. If they ever sing in harmony, evacuate your home immediately and do not return for any reason. Otherwise, they can be removed with common weed killers. To the layman, this may sound like a haunting, but thankfully it's got a simple, easy solution. Wine sprite. Subspecies of sprite known for consuming wine. They're small, large-eyed winged creatures with translucent skin that often appears red while they are feeding. They have a long proboscis that they use to drink. Homeowners infested with wine sprites commonly report broken glasses, and their wine having a rotten taste and smell. Not dangerous to humans, but they can spread the Fey flu. They can be removed with pesticides and traps, provided they're baited with wine. And wood secretions. Wood secretions are a pink, viscous liquid substance that can sometimes form from wood that has been mistreated. It is known to drip from wooden materials, such as furniture or walls, causing a sticky, pooling buildup. Wood secretions can be deadly to humans, causing a rapid translation of flesh if ingested. Keep animals and human children away from secretions at all costs, as its foul odor will be interpreted as a sweet, candy-like smell to them, making them particularly susceptible to accidental ingestion. That sounds cruel and horrible, but well, I suppose it's not too different from pills. Once started, wood secretions will continue indefinitely. To remove the hazard from a home, the offending wood should be replaced entirely. To prevent wood from entering the secretion stage, ensure good care is taken towards wood in the home, and refrain from scratching, knocking, or banging on wooden surfaces. Do not ever insult or shout at wood. And that's the world we live in. So here's the thing, you said it's huge, this is huge. You said it lurks just out of sight from the bottom of the stairs, these things like to hide. But you also said you've seen it, which means that either this is a truly dire case, or that's not what it is. You also said it doesn't hiss or make any noise or anything. So let's re-listen to this. That sounds like some kind of noise. What does it say specifically for the stair slug? Because I didn't think it was at first. But it literally says dog size, so it's got to be that. And I've actually, see, this is how you can kind of trick yourself and then get yourself into a mindset that gives you tunnel vision. Because I kept thinking, you said you could hear it creaking under its weight. I was thinking footsteps, and that was just an assumption that was totally wrong. It's just the weight. You didn't say anything about footsteps. So I really do think it's probably one of these guys. Especially since you specifically said stairwells to basements. It's ye old stair slug. There we go. This is legitimately more fun, I think, than the co-op game that would result from trying to go and actually clear these entities out themselves. I mean, I guess we're basically sending in the Phasmophobia team, huh? What do you want?
Hey, I've been hearing some really weird noises coming from the bathroom faucet recently. I'm not sure what it could mean. It just makes this nasty sound anytime I run it. Along with this, nasty smell.
Okay.
Please hold.
So, of course, the first thing I think of is a pipe hob. But they actually don't list anything like that. What about pipe growths? That also doesn't really... No, I don't think they would actually cause problems with that. frozen pipes. They can cause... Ooh, it actually could just be frozen pipes now that I look at it. See, what's really interesting about putting these things alongside more mundane issues is that not only does it make them seem like this is a world where these are just something we have to deal with and we've adapted, we're kind of primed to hear what could be a fairly mundane problem and attribute these crazy things to them. It really is just about reshaping your mind in a world where these things exist. Like, your whole likelihood algorithm is totally thrown out of whack. I think it's frozen pipes. And it's only when you run the pipes. I'm gonna say you've just got a simple case of frozen pipes. Just be glad you're not the last lady, right? There we go. I'm gonna get that gift card yet. Oh no, a gift card would have some value. We're talking about coupons for like $1 off something.
My wife. I can't. Her face. It's gone. It's gone. My wife. I can't see her face. I can't see her face. She's dead and I can't see her face. They're all gone. It's all gone.
Please hold.
Okay, it sounds like maybe a memory wisp. Now, these things... It's very clear that these things are made accessible specifically because they correspond to other potential problems. In this case, we may potentially confuse that with the... what was it called? Like a mirror nymph or something? Mirror nymph. But that, I believe, only causes the viewer to forget their own face. Now, a memory wisp... Yeah, removing the home, blah blah blah. Inability to remember the faces of loved ones. It's a memory wisp. And it sort of concerns me that I'm starting to answer these so quickly, because I feel confident, but this could be false confidence. You again.
Yeah, name's Fred Pinball. I'm calling to lodge a complaint against your place of business up there. I have never seen such a big old mess left behind by your pest control team. Just tons of twigs, sticks, and pebbles. I ain't putting up with it no more. I got sawdust coming out my drawers here. I had to grab you by the goober and smack you around till next Sunday. Now, what's you gonna do? What's you gonna do to make this right?
I haven't entirely discounted the idea that you're some kind of mimic entity. Which again is a totally normal reaction to prank callers. I guess we just wait around.
Hi? I have no idea what's happening. My sheets are growing nasty sharp things on them, and my legs itch like crazy. Do I need to be showering more often or something? I usually shower like once a week for my skin health, so maybe that's it?
Well, yeah, probably, but I also might know what else it is.
Please hold.
You said your sheets are growing nasty sharp things, so that definitely sounds like bed teeth, but... Of course. Network errors. And we don't even see until we try to use them. That's gonna be an issue. I'm gonna say bed teeth. Just because growing nasty sharp things. I wasn't sure if, it could be some like secretion from bed bugs. I don't really know fully how they work. but that definitely sounds like bed teeth to me. Like, classic case of bed teeth. Bed teeth if I've ever seen them.
Hello? I was told to call this number to ask about my problem. The wall in my bedroom doesn't look right near the bottom. The bottom of the wall has some cracks, or maybe it's peeling. I'm not sure. I have a cat named Whiskers, and sometimes he likes to sharpen his claws at the couch, but he would never do that to the wall. He knows just how naughty that would be.
Please hold.
See, the problem is there's a couple of things that could be. Like bees, because we can finally be bees. This is good news. Some of you are laughing at that, and some of you think I'm having a stroke. Meanwhile, down here, it could be... Like, that's the thing, it could be any number of bugs. Or it could be fracture hobs. So let's look at the fracture hob. So here's the thing, it's either a fracture hob or termites. And I don't know which it would be. Like, sometimes it really does feel like it kind of comes down to a guess. You said, or maybe it's peeling? How do you not know if it's cracked or peeling? The only thing I can say is that the more extraordinary threats tend to have a bit more description to them. But then again, there's not that much to the fracture hobs either. This is just a very low detail one. I'm gonna say termites just because there's not much ado about it. That really is just a guess. If we get any wrong, will it tell us which ones we got wrong? Huh, the day's not over.
Do you think this is some kind of joke? Last week, I called you guys about some weird noises I had coming from my living room, and the info package you sent me said something about leaving out a bowl of cream? What kind of joke is that? It's been a week now that I've been dealing with this racket, no thanks to you, and now we're starting to have power outages. Your employee's stupid joke is now probably going to cost me who knows how much in repair costs. So talk to your manager and tell them they owe me big time. You figure out what's going on in my house, and you figure it out now!
Okay, I don't think Home Safety Hotline can afford to lose Germa as a customer.
Please hold.
Yeah, please hold. Okay. I can figure this out, but... Okay, thankfully we still have access to the database. I remember seeing something that could cause power outages, but... That confirms it. We don't actually tell them what they're dealing with, we simply tell them how to deal with it. Otherwise, they're kept in the dark. Alright. Now, what are we dealing with here? I believe it was some type of hob. Here we go, it was Bogart's. That makes sense. Last week, you didn't take the advice, and it went through its metamorphosis. I really like that some of these are follow-ups as well. Sometimes the nature of this advice, the fact that it seems so strange, means they don't take it seriously, and now it's like, oh man, you really screwed that up. Alright, I'm quite certain that what you're dealing with is a Bogart. Things could have been so much easier for you, but now it's a whole problem. You're gonna have to basically go into paranormal witness protection. And you're in charge of enforcing it, so please try and have some discipline. And we're done. We got it! Dude, okay, so I guess it was termites. That was the one that... Well, there were a couple I wasn't sure about, but that one I really was just taking a shot in the dark. Either way, we have been great at our job so far. That guy really should shower more than once a week, right? Like, I'm not crazy. Oh, look at me keep playing in the background. Unfortunately, I'm breaking this up into pieces, so that will have to wait until next time. Until then, if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.